Ay, give me the chip, I need the championship. Wait, we got a drink next to the team, yeah, we can handle it. Wait, soon as I go and I step in arenas, they call me the champ. They know what it is, know what I do, know who I am, who don't understand. Yeah, that's overdue. My trophy say that's overdue. My rings finna be immortalized. Yeah, they know it's true. They couldn't walk a mile of here.
Hey there, good morning, folks. How y'all doing? Chris Harris here. First episode of our Friday night recap series brought to you by Bucks We Sports Podcast. This is the morning after. We'll be I'll be kind of going through my observations of some of our local teams and their this last week of scrimmages here, specifically Bash at the Beach, what I saw Thursday night, and of course last night's Sampson County Jamboree. But I thank y'all for joining me this morning. Hopefully y'all got your coffee and your your little breakfast burrito or whatever you got going on out, and ready to talk a little bit of football, man. Some just some observations. Uh, a fun night of football, man. Saw a lot of good things, a lot of bad things, but we'll get to it. But first off, let me start off by saying, of course, like always, please feel free to comment any questions, any observations y'all saw. I will take the time and try to get to the comments, but I do want to kind of get through my initial spiel on all the teams first. And I got a tendency to kind of go off course sometimes, so I want to go ahead and get that out the way before I get to the comments. So trust me, I'm not ignoring y'all. I just want to get my my comments out the way first, and then we'll hit the comment section. Anything you guys want to say, or anything, or how y'all feel about my observations, and we'll go from there. Probably won't be up here too long this morning, but like I said, this is just something we're going to do. I know normally last season we did it on Sunday evenings, but like I said, to just switch things up a little bit, I'm just going to go ahead and get it out of the way while it's nice and fresh, and just running like that this year. I don't know if my guys will join me. This, like I said, I told them it's all voluntary if they want to hop on with me this morning. So they might be wanting to sleep in, so I don't want to make it. It's like I said, nothing too serious. Like I said, I just wanted to get my initial comments out the way. But yes, please feel free to like the video, share the video. If you haven't followed any of our pages yet, please follow the pages. Approaching 4K on our Facebook page, so help us trying to get to 4K before week one, the games next week. So help us out. Like I said, share the page and hit that follow button. All right, I'll start with Thursday night. Thursday night, the Bash at the Beach at West Brunswick High School. Three local teams specifically that I wanted to check out, and that was East Bladen, Wallace Rose Hill, and the Whiteville Wolfpack. But starting with that first game, checking out East Bladen. From what I saw, man, for you East Bladen fans, your typical East Bladen team, man, look very look very really controlled their taking on. Excuse me. Let's see who they're taking on. That first game, I did have it up here. I have my list, my notes up here, but they that first game, they pretty much controlled the clock, man. They played 12-minute quarters. There was a rain delay, but they played 12-minute quarters. That first quarter, East Bladen pretty much controlled the clock the entire time. Drove the length of the field. Strong running by Deshaun Campbell. Like I said, just your typical what you expect from what you've seen from a Robbie Priest East Bladen team. Like I said, really controlled the clock. One of the good things I saw, they were able to complete passes when they needed to, and that's really important for a predominantly running team to keep defenses honest with that passing game. So they did a good job with that. Um, Defensively, they bend don't break, nothing crazy. Was able to hold the team up. Let me pull that list up who they played. They were able to hold them out the end zone. Um, I guess if you were keeping score, the final score would have been East Bladen 8-0. Quickly put that out there. They were taking on Topsail that first game. So all in all, if you're an East Bladen fan, you should be pretty pleased with what you saw from that scrimmage last night. I mean, well, Thursday night. Let me see. The next game I want to talk about Wallace Rose Hill. Wallace Rose Hill took on New Hanover. I'm not gonna hold it too. I'm not gonna be too rough on the Bulldogs, man. I believe New Hanover, which bigger school, they're gonna be pretty solid this year. I got an opportunity to cover, spotlight some of their kids this summer, and yeah, they're definitely really very talented. So I'm not gonna hold it to be too negative against Wallace. They did struggle a bit moving the ball. You didn't really see too many explosive plays that you normally see, from Wallace Rose Hill offense. I know Bubba got a couple good carries, but they definitely made him work for it, and they just kind of really seemed a little bit out of sync. From what the announcers were saying, they were missing a couple kids. I'm not sure how many, and I'm not sure if that would have made a difference. But yeah, you could tell definitely they struggled pretty hard against New Hanover. And that's the second time because we talked about them struggling a little bit against Lakewood the week before, but of course Coach Mock, they're going to get it together. They doing dealing with a change of coordinators and trying some new things offensively. But I mean, Wallace Rose Hill is Wallace Rose Hill. They may start off a little slow, but at the end of the day, they'll be in the conversation. So uh, that's my observations from them Thursday night. And my last one for Thursday night, wife of Wolfpack. Um, Ashley, they took on Ashley, and Ashley's not that that pushover program that they used to be in previous years. That current coaching staff has really changed the culture out there, and they actually have a pretty solid team, man. So Whiteville, didn't look as sharp as they did, at the as they did at the East Duplin scrimmage the week before. But I'm gonna credit that more towards Ashley being just a really really strong program. So I'm gonna give credit where credit's due there. So like I said, if you're a Whiteville fan, I wouldn't get too down about that performance. I feel like they'll still be Wolfpack are definitely gonna be in the conversation as far as you know that conference and that 3A classification, 3A East classification. All right, so moving on to Friday night, uh, Sampson County Pigskin Jamboree. Uh, Before I get started, Anthony said Anthony Goodman wants to join me, so let me get him in here real quick. Hey, Anthony, I'm about to send you an invite. Y'all bear with me 1 second, folks. Let's see. Anthony, I'm sending you the invite right now. Alrighty. And y'all, like I said, I'm gonna get to y'all comments as soon as I get done with my comments. Just like I said, I didn't want to lose my train of thought, which I do have a tendency to do. And I'm gonna get Anthony in here real quick. Just waiting on him. But I appreciate everyone that is listening in, and yeah, I'm gonna definitely try to get to y'all. I'm gonna get to y'all comments as soon as we get done with our observations. But shout out to everyone listening in early this morning with us. Well, early for some, This it's kind of late for me. I work third shift, so I'm staying up a little later than I should be. Wait. Well, while I wait on Anthony, I'm gonna go ahead and continue with my Sampson County observations. Okay, Sampson County Jamboree. Like I said, always a big time event in Sampson County. Start off first with the Union Spartans taking on the Western Hornet. Loved what I saw out of Union. Um, that's exactly what we've been talking about. Something I mentioned on the show Wednesday. All that hard work those kids have been putting in, you're seeing, you're seeing the fruits of their labor, come out on the field now, and they're going to start. Yeah, and I'm looking at Union schedule and those, 50-50 games that we kind of that they lost last year. I think that they're going to be winning those this year. You could definitely see the change as far as overall just the team performance, morale, execution, and just the numbers, man. It's amazing to see the numbers. If you saw them, and I talked about this Wednesday, if you saw them a couple years ago, barely any kids on the sideline, and now you look at them now, just total change in the atmosphere out there at Union. But yeah, definitely impressed with their performance yesterday. Tobias Camardi, I mean, we talked about him a lot last year. Looks even better this year. Union's got some great size on that offensive line. Uh, we're able to give him some holes, and once Tobias gets to that second level, man, he's a big play. He's always one play away. So he definitely like what I saw from him. Obviously, defensively, saw a lot of great plays. Like I said, man, Union's gonna be okay, man. They're definitely headed in the right direction. So was really happy to see it. Just the energy, man. You can hear from the crowd. You can see it on the sideline. Yeah, they're definitely going. They're definitely pointing in the right direction. So shout out to Coach Oates, Coach Brandon Maynard, my guy Magic Gomez, all those guys out there in Union. Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing what you guys continue to do this season. But that was really fun to watch yesterday, seeing them just seeing that progression that they made over the past year. And I'm still waiting on Anthony. But moving on to the next game, I want to talk about the Hopton Wildcats. Hopton took on Lejeune. Now, granted, I know it was Lejeune, and Lejeune looks like they're going to be really really down this year. Just didn't really you could tell the difference between the athletes that Hopton had and what Lejeune had working for them. Both teams actually going through a major offensive change. Lejeune was also one of those teams that liked to throw it around a bit, just like Hopton, but both of them have transitioned to that wing T. And speaking on Hopkins, well, let me see, I think that was oh, never mind. I thought that was Anthony getting in, but not. But just Hopton, man. We talked about it their scrimmage last week when they was mixing it up with East Duplin and Wyville and CBA Cock. The I did not expect those kids to pick that up, so quick. And listening to the play-by-play guys, Coach Jeff Savo, he was talking about how the Hopton staff were talking about how those kids they really bought in, you know, to the changes, and you see a lot of kids, just making sacrifices. And we talk about Reggie Thompson, how he was going to fit to that offense, being a 1,000 wide receiver, 1,000-yard wide receiver last season, all switching to quarterback, or Joe Corbett being a 3,000-yard passer. He's now, made a sacrifice. He's playing on defense, and just, like I said, those kids have bought into that program and what, Coach Adam Scrons is, doing out there, and you could tell, you know, and it's definitely shown on the field. Like I said, I did not expect them to really, fit into that offense get used to that quick. And then it's only been what, maybe not 2 months, and just in the nick of time, because I'm talking about Hopkins. Here comes
Right there.
Oh man, I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Good morning. Good morning.
What's up? What's going on, man? You came right on
How's
right
everyone?
in time, man. I was just talking about you. I was just talking about your Hopton Wildcats, man.
Oh man. Hey, look. Hey man. That what? That wing T?
Like hey, like we talked about last night, man. I understand it's just it's just Lejeune, but yeah, it definitely looks good. And like I said, man, one of my favorite best things I'm hearing is just I'm loving how those kids are brought, buying into what the coaches are doing, and it's that's how you build a championship culture. And Coach Adam Strong's coming from Wallace. He knows exactly what that looks like, and you could see it. That's what I'm. So, and I'm gonna hit on something like that when I talk about another team a little bit later on. But for you Hopton guys, man, Hopton fans, any alumni, y'all should definitely be excited because, like I said, it's only been 2 months. So just imagine what this gonna look like. A month from now, 2 months from now, and even going into the future, like I said, you got a coach that came from a championship culture. He knows, he's seen it firsthand. He's been right there, uh, right there, with Coach Mox and that Rose Hill football program. And now he's bringing that same culture to Newton Grove, and those kids are buying into it, and you could already see it paying dividends. So for you Hopton Wildcats, man, y'all got a lot to be excited about, but definitely a very impressive performance. And poetic that their first touchdown, they scored 3 times on that first drive, of
On
course,
the first drive, bro.
but of course it was some got some little ticky tack penalties,
Panel.
blocking the back on the other side of the field away from the ball, but poetic that they scored on the Buck sweep, the first play of the game. So we appreciate that. That's free. We gonna have to come up. We gonna have to come up with something. Anytime a team scores using the Buck Sweep, Buck Sweep Sports Podcast, we gotta come up with a little something for that. But yeah, it looked good. I'm Reggie Thompson at quarterback looks the part. Outstanding athlete, really getting to show. I mean, he showed it last year, but he's really getting to show his athleticism now. He's best. One of the best athletes on the field. He gets to touch the ball every play. So I understand coaches. I understand the coach's vision when they made that move, and also just one thing that we always talked about with Hopton in the past. Always had the offensive, firepower, but just the defense never matched the energy. Yesterday, and like I said, once again, I understand it's just Lejeune, but that you can see that change the defensive energy, and they talked about that too last week. I talked about that too last week when them going ahead, toe to toe with like East Duplin and Whiteville and CB Acock and matching, that physicality. But you could definitely see the difference, as far as the Hopping Wildcats go. But since that's your squad, though, I want to let you kind of give your observations because I know you got some things to say.
Most definitely, man. All right, so seeing it firsthand, bro, and being up loud and personal, and being able to talk to the kids last night, um, it really opened my eyes to some things, man. Um, just looking at the kids, bro, I've seen so many guys get more leaner. They look stronger. Even Amir laid a boomstick last night. Point guard, little
Oh
short
yeah,
Amir
yeah,
take
yeah, yeah.
laid a boomstick. I said, is that Amir? Where that come from? Brian Menendez start coming back. He's back on the team and he's laying a boomstick. The ferocity of Jason Johnson last night, Landrow and all them boys on D line just getting to it, man. It's a different energy. This is no slight to the coach Salas or the previous regime or nothing, but you can just tell on the sideline and on that
It's a
field that
difference.
there's a different energy. It's a different energy. And then Joe Corbett, he was the one that I was worried about. I was like, well, how are you adjusting? He looked at me and said, Coach, it's football. I love football. And that hit me. that hit me. Now, granted, we had this talk, and I've heard you already say it already. Everybody's talking about, oh well, it's Lejeune. They only had 3 kids come back. You know,
Hold up. You got it breaking up, man. I don't know if you can. You still. I don't know if you can still hear me. You went robotic on me. But yeah, I don't know if you can still hear me, dog. But yeah, 100%, man. Like I said, I love how those and like yeah, we lost them. Yeah, sometimes them Sampson County roads can be we lose that service, but I'm sure he'll get right back on. But yeah, just to piggyback off what he was saying, yeah, definitely. Like I said, I love how the kids brought in. You can definitely see a different energy down there in New Grove, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna have my eye out on the Wildcats this season. Uh, don't want to move too fast unless Anthony has more comments, but let's see. He's trying to get back on, but did want to go to my next game. The next game in the Jamboree was we had Midway taking on Triton, which probably was one of the more exciting games. As far as you could tell, there's I feel like there's always been something with Midway and Triton. You got Spivey's Corner and Dunn, right there next to each other, and probably yeah, you could tell it was definitely a different type of energy there. I got Anthony back. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. It's moving, man. We on that way to damn Virginia.
Oh, okay, I got you, man.
So we on the way to
um,
Avery right now.
okay, that's what's up. The yeah, I had kind of lost you on your last couple of comments. If you wanted to repeat it real quick.
Regarding the energy change, the energy shift, it's just everybody look
Yes, sir.
leaner. Everybody look. Am I still breaking up?
Oh, no, I got you now.
Okay. Um, I say it wasn't a slight to the previous administration. Oh, it's just the energy's different, man. They're actually running
Hmm.
at practice. I was looking at Steve. I want to say Steve Gomez. I was like, boy, you done leaned up real quick, boy. What you doing? You know what I'm saying? He's like, we run at practice, coach. And that's something that I always wanted, man. A lot of championship teams, that's what you do. You do conditioning. You know what I mean? And I didn't see many of
Oh
these.
yeah,
I didn't see too many of these. You know what I'm saying? They were actually able to stay in the
yeah,
game and not tire themselves out. They conditioning look better. I mean, when your conditioning better, execute better. Um, that
oh yeah.
backfield, that like J Mac is playing both sides, but like and no, they had these weapons on their team. They put the ball on. They definitely gonna have to. They're gonna have to learn today.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They gonna have to.
Oh,
They gonna have to
oh
learn
yeah.
today, man. I'm excited, man.
Oh yeah. Hey, look, y'all should be, man. So all you Hopton fans, man, definitely go out there if you haven't done so already, man. Go out there next Friday and check them out against Midway. That's gonna be a good game. We'll get more into that on Wednesday's show, but yeah, definitely looking forward to checking that out, man. Um, I don't know. I don't know if you got any more comments or anything, or if you're gonna stick around. I know you're driving and everything, brother. I'm gonna keep it moving. I was just about to get into that midway Triton scrimmage, which I was saying.
Well, let's talk about it.
Oh yeah, I feel like it was that was probably one of the more entertaining ones. Like I was telling the audience, like you can really feel the energy, the hatred. You know that
Yeah,
Dunn versus Spivey's corner, energy there. But
yeah.
my observations from
It was
midway,
it was definitely the most competitive game.
oh, yeah, yeah, like I said, it was definitely entertaining. My observations from midway, real quick. Midway on offense, they're going to score points, man. They got an explosive offense. You could definitely tell. It was great to see Jeremiah Blue back out there on the field after his injury last season. It was great to see big number 75 John Williams back on the field after his injury last season. And
Mhm.
I'm hoping the Raiders. I'm hoping the Raiders, because they really got bit with that injury bug bad, especially at the end of the season last year. So I'm hoping those guys can stay healthy. Like I said, the offense is going to be explosive. Uh, you saw the lefty Tanner Williams making some good plays yesterday. Wide receivers, once they get into space, they can make they can make you pay. Of course, we know Nate True Miles with his that track speed. He's going to be dangerous. I guess the issue with Midway is going to be defensively, man. They had a lot of trouble stopping the run yesterday, from what I was seeing. Uh, Triton was pretty much able to move the ball on the ground at will. Really, the only people that could stop Triton from running the ball was Triton themselves when they making
Yes.
little mistakes or whatever. But yeah, it really had some tough time stopping the run. From what I'm seeing, Midway has great size. Like we were talking about yesterday, Midway has great size. The issue is I'm seeing some issues sideline to sideline. It looks like there's just the athleticism. They need to add a little bit more athleticism. Got to have G's got to G's got to go both ways. Nate True's got to go both ways. You got to have a little bit more speed, a little more sideline to sideline to help combat some of the issues I was seeing as far as defensively that defense goes. But and also forgot to mention, man, Wesley too looks the part, man. That kid's an animal. That's a pure athlete right there. He's gonna be fun to watch. So Midway fans, you're definitely gonna enjoy watching that kid. But yeah, just some issues as far as Midway stopping the run. They really had some issues there, and that's what one of the things that really helped Triton. I guess if, like I said, if we keep a score, Triton won that game. Even though even though Midway was driving there to the end, but they got that pick six to pretty much seal the win. But yeah, that's one of the things that they're really gonna have to. Um, I guess if you go back to the drawing board this week and start to work on, because if you can't stop the run, you're gonna have some issues next week
It's gonna be rough.
because you got Wing T heading right at you next week, next Friday. So we'll see how that goes, but that's just my observations as far as Midway goes. If you had anything you wanted to add,
From what I saw, man, to piggyback on what you were saying, a lot of those runs that Triton was springing out were on the outside.
yeah.
It's not like they just bust in the gap and ran through them because they got them heavy.
Oh, I think I might have lost you again, brother. Well,
Am I still here?
okay, yeah, I got you back. You back. You back. Okay, hear me?
Let me see that. There you go.
Let me see. I think we're having some more technical difficulty with Ant. Ant, can you hear me, bro? Okay, I'll give him a couple. I'll give him a couple minutes. Um, But yeah, like you were saying, that's what I said. Sideline to sideline, speed wise, like I said, athleticism wise, there's some issues there. They definitely got to correct because if you look at the teams in their conference, that Swan Valley Conference, you're dealing with a bunch of running teams, man, and you're dealing with some speed and you're dealing with some athleticism. So they're definitely going to have to want to get that corrected, as soon as possible. And I got you back, man. You go ahead and finish what you were saying.
I'm sorry about these technical
Nah, nah,
difficulties,
nah, nah. You good, man. You good. You driving. You know what I'm saying?
but they like I was saying, most of they got to fix their containment. With Harlan and them boys, a lot of them boys on that D line look like grown men, but they got
Oh
to
yeah,
figure
they
out how to
definitely got the
kind of.
size. They definitely got the size.
They got the size, I think Jaden Stock was shooting and whatnot. Um, Triton, once they got to that outside, it was pretty much over for them. And I ain't trying to give them no keys to the test. You know what I mean? But they got some work to do before next week. Because I think next week, they can get it both ways. It's gonna be up the middle or outside. Um,
Oh yeah.
Now the air game, granted Tanner threw that pick six at the
Oh
end,
yeah.
but for the most part, he was connecting with West pretty good. He was connecting to
Oh
Holland
yeah.
pretty good throughout the game. So I don't think they have much of a problem with the air game. And then, from my understanding, Jeremiah didn't play as much because of some attendance issues at practice and whatnot.
Okay.
So Jeremiah didn't even get that the normal amount of snaps that he probably would have normally got.
Mm.
I would like to see them try to find a way to get the ball in Nathan's hands a little bit more.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely. Definitely gotta get that
um,
kid. Get that kid the
I
ball
don't
in
know.
space.
I don't know if you use screens or sweeps or whatever, but I would like to see that ball get in his hands a little bit more if possible, just so we can see them utilize that speed that he has, because he's definitely the fastest thing on that field when he out there.
Oh
So
yes, sir.
I'm heavily intrigued. I know everybody got circled Lakewood and Clinton as their game of the week next week.
I don't know.
After what I saw last night,
I don't know now. I don't know about that now. I don't
mm,
we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
we'll let that breathe. But
Yeah,
as it
we gonna
stands
let that
now,
we gonna let that marinate real quick,
yeah.
because
But as it stands now, off of what I saw last night, man, Midway Hopkins is my game of the week for week one. That's what I'm wanting to see. I want to see if the Jamboree was just a test, and did Hopkins just look like that because of Lejeune, or did Midway just look like that because it was Triton? I want to see what they really look like.
yes, sir. Definitely agree with you. Definitely agree with you. All right, move on to our next game. Next game is Lakewood and West Bladen, and I'm kind of hit from both ways because I know we got some West Bladen folks that follow the page as well, but just focusing on Lakewood right now. In my opinion, I feel like Lakewood was the most complete Sampson County team that I witnessed yesterday. Did have a slow start. Did have a slow start. There was some issues with the the center quarterback exchange and that shotgun. But once they settled in, you really got to see that Lakewood team that we've talked about so many times up here before. Like I said, they got a solid group of kids returning. Yes, they have a new coach and Coach Travis Elliott, but he inherited a pretty solid bunch and
Yeah.
a very resilient bunch, man. Like I said, you can't give these kids enough credit. This was a really solid group for Lakewood. You think about back to those middle school teams they had a couple years ago that were just basically dominating the county. This is what you got right here at this high school right now. For the most part, they had a couple kids that transferred away, but I feel like that core group is still there. And you think about the what so two for the last 2 years had to deal with coaching changes and still knocking off double digit wins and I
Mhm.
think that just impressive, and I feel like they're definitely a team that is probably gonna win 10 plus games again this season. But very impressed with what I saw once they settled in. Love the intensity. Um, they was rocking practice jerseys, so it's kind of hard to
and
pinpoint
get them numbers.
who was who. But for the most part, I'm pretty sure we knew who the heavy hitters was. I
I
knew that
think they
was
did
Reed
that on
back there.
purpose
Reed,
too.
oh yeah, definitely. Um, but I know that was Reed Amos back there, sophomore quarterback. He was out there. I knew that was Lacewell, Deshaun Carr, all in the backfield. There was one more kid.
Thailand
That
month, man. Shout out Thailand. That I think he can be a problem if him and Reed can get that chemistry.
oh yeah,
Man, he a real good route runner. He got some speed. He got some
I
hops.
was that who caught that was that who caught the
Yes,
touchdown pass?
yes,
Okay.
Thailand. And I don't want to hear no more nepo mess about Amos, bro. I don't want to hear that no more out of nobody's mouth talking about he coached his son and whatnot. That boy can ball. He can ball.
That's not that's
Respect
not
him off his
you know
effort and not because of his daddy coaching. The boy can ball. No
yeah
matter
that's
what
not
position his daddy got,
yeah that's not daddy ball right there, man. That kid the kids you
that's
saw that
not daddy ball.
you
That
saw it
boy's
last year,
legit.
man. The kid's legit dual threat quarterback. Um, when they was running those quarterback counters, up the middle on West Bladen yesterday, yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, it's a thing of beauty, man. Yeah, like I said, man, Lakewood, like I said, the most complete Sampson County team I feel like I saw yesterday. Um,
Yeah.
but just like I said, this even more impressive. Like I said, they've dealing with a new coaching change, the third coach they had in the last 3 years, and then they're those kids not missing a beat, and that's just that speaks volume to the caliber of athlete they got over there right now. So I'm expecting big things out of them
Right.
this year. To flip
Coach,
flip it to the West Bladen real quick.
he was out there with flip flops and a muscle
Oh yeah,
shirt.
yeah. Hey, y'all seen that too? I was like, yeah, coach out there chilling, man. But flipping to any of
He
I know
real
if you got any
comfortable.
West Bladen fans checking us out. West Bladen, that like I said, it's always it's been a difficult time, and Bladen Brothers as far as football goes. They had that Hezekiah Adams is gone, so you got to find other ways to move that ball, and they had a couple plays here and there when Lakewood was switching out personnel, but yeah, just been an issue struggle there, but uh for they got some good numbers. That's some a positive to look if you're a West Bladen fan, and to just continue to build, man. That unfortunately they lost one of their best linemen to St. Paul's. He transferred. Then of course Hezekiah Adams was basically 95% of their offense. So one thing I did see that was interesting, Hunter Hess, quarterback. He's been quarterback for the last 3 years. They were trying him some at tight end yesterday. He's a big kid, so we'll see how that goes. But that's definitely interesting. But man, me and some guys were talking about the West Bladen mystery, man. Obviously, you got the athletes out there because you see how the basketball team is. You see how the baseball program is. Just haven't really been able to get over that hump football wise. And I know people out there in that part of Bladen County are they want that trifecta, but it's just gonna be a continued work in progress out there at West Bladen. But like I said, they did have some good numbers, and we'll be keeping an eye on them this season. Hopefully, they could start to turn that thing around. And I lost Anthony again, but uh, we're about to move on to the last game of the night, and I'll say this: if you're a little sensitive, if you're sensitive, this might be where you want to cut the program out because one thing, like I say, I'm from Clinton. That's where I'm from. Um, I'm always gonna, you're always gonna be, your biggest critic, and I'm not one to sugarcoat things. If you want something sugar coated, you better hit up Sweet Frogs or Bernie's because that's not what you want to get from me. especially when it comes to the dark horses, man. I gotta be real with you. Um, yeah, I don't even know where to. I'm gonna start with the positives. First thing, positives. Positive. We talked about the injury to Miles McCaleb the other day on the show. I didn't have all the details at the time, but thank God it wasn't as bad as people were making it sound. So Miles is going to be out. They said maybe a game or two. Hopefully he's back before the midway game. So that's the positive. Another positive. I love the energy that Clint came out with. You really saw it. In the stands. You saw it when the team came out. You saw it on that first drive. I love that. Great energy. Loved it. After the first drive, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson, Mike with the old saying, the old quote from Mike Tyson, everyone has a plan until they get, punched in the face. We got punched in the face after that first drive. Hey, okay. Hey, Anthony, man, you good, man. But I appreciate you taking the time, man. If you can't get back up here, it's all good, man. We'll chop it up Wednesday. But like I was saying, after that first drive, we got punched in the mouth and we folded. One thing, like I said, obviously, Gray's Creek isn't James Keenan. We knew that. We knew that coming in. It was a couple red flags that I definitely witnessed last night, and I actually witnessed it. I didn't get to see the James Keenan scrimmage, but people were posting highlights and stuff. And yeah, I mean, great highlights. But one thing that really kind of stood out to me, looking at a great run by Gavin Miller against Grace Creek in that scrimmage, the one thing I was wondering was like, man, like why is there so many? Okay, great that he dodged, broke tackles from 3 or 4 different defenders, but why is he dodging 3 or 4 different defenders in the backfield? That's what I was looking at. And there was a couple other plays that I was like, okay, so there's something's off here, but yeah, I got to see it a little bit last night, man. Offensive line's going to be an issue. That's one of the biggest red flags I saw last night, and the lack of mental, I guess, the lack of mentality, the lack of effort. I didn't like that when it got later in the scrimmage and things weren't going our way. I wasn't a fan of that lack of effort, and that's a culture issue. You know what I'm saying? We talked earlier about Hopton and how you could see the change with those kids buying in and stuff like that, and that's something I didn't like seeing from Clinton. Just that lack of effort, and it was disappointing to me. Okay, I understand the quarterback's hurt. But it's some things last night that I saw that we shouldn't be seeing with what we have returning. I felt like we should be a lot further along than what we are. What I saw last night. If you put up a film, the film from last night, and put it beside the film from yesterday or last season, early last season, it's almost a carbon copy. And last year you had excuses last year. Last year you had went through a whole culture change, big turnover of players. You only had like one starter coming back on both sides of the ball. That's not the case this year. We got a lot of returning kids, a lot of returning starters, and it was still like like I said, after that first drive, deer in the headlights type deal. We should be a lot further along than that. So that was pretty disappointing as a fan. That's something you didn't want to see because like I said, James Keenan, I knew what it was, man. I listened to some of the James Keenan guys talk about their scrimmage against Hoggard the other night, and that the fact that they were sticking it to Hoggard, who's a pretty solid 8A school. Them going toe for toe for them. I already knew what it was, man. And I spotlighted a lot of those James Keenan kids over the summer, so I know the talent that they had returning. So I knew it was going to be a totally different, you're going to get a totally different look than what you saw against Grays Creek last week. And was I expecting, Clinton to go out there and dominate? Oh, no, no, sir. But I expected a better showing than what we saw, and I got to follow my own advice. I talk about it all the time, not to get too high or too low on the scrimmage, but there were some things I saw, just from not even an X's and O's standpoint that are, that's like I said, from just that lack of effort, man. That's not a, that's not something you fix. That's not something you're going to fix in 4 days. Unfortunately, that's a mentality thing. You know, they talk about what we talk about football being, 90% mental. Mentally, we weren't after that first drive, we weren't there anymore. And if all it takes is for you to get down in a football game, or a couple things to not go your way, for you to check out, it's gonna be a long season. So, man, that's just me being real. Yeah, I just it was, the overall theme of that last, that the nightcap there against James Keenan was just, just disappointment, man. Like I said, I feel like we should be a lot further along than that with what we have returning. Like I said, I understand the quarterback was hurt, but the quarterback, that's not the off. That's the quarterback's not the, quarterback's not blocking. The quarterback's not playing defense. So that's some things they're really gonna have to, you know, when they watch film, they're gonna have to, get corrected. That lack of effort, that's something and I know you guys watch film on your own without the coaches. So you team leaders, seniors or whatever, when you're watching film and you're seeing this, you gotta start hold your guys accountable. You know, that lack of effort ain't going. That's not gonna fly, man. You know, you gotta step up, hold you guys accountable. Say this that's inexcusable. I mean, when we're doing drills and practice, we go to the whistle blow, right? That's why we do it. You go hard every play. It don't matter if you're up, if you're up 7 or down 14. You don't take plays off like that. And like I said, I just didn't like that. And even listen to the play-by-play. Coach Savo pointed it out. Coach, and and for y'all, that know anything about Clinton, man, y'all know how Coach Savo is. He's a straight shooter, man. When he sees it, it's going on. Calls it out. So, uh, hopefully, I ain't piss off nobody too bad. But like I said, I just gotta tell the truth, man. Like I said, you can't sugarcoat. Like I said, stuff like that. I understand it's James Keenan. James Keenan's gonna be really really good. You probably won't see a defense that talented until you play like someone like East Dupin later on in this season. They're going to be one of the ones this year. So uh, if that's if what we showed last night is the measuring stick, then man, we got a lot of work to do, a whole lot of work to do. But to speak on James Keenan, man, there were people that were, and I understand some of you James Keenan fans. I feel like y'all were being a little coy over the summer, man. I'm telling y'all that y'all are gonna be good. And they're like, oh nah, we still got to work on this, and we lost this, and we lost that. No, I checked out. I knew some of you guys were trying. You guys were trying to play it smooth, I guess. I saw I saw the skill guys y'all had returning. I saw some of the guys y'all had coming back on defense. I knew y'all were gonna be solid, man. So when I heard about what y'all going toe for toe with Hoggard the other night, I already knew what it was, man. So James Keenan's gonna be, James Keenan showed me basically nothing that I already didn't know, about that program last night. Number 9, Cal Avent on the defensive line. I mean, uh, just did whatever he wanted to last night. You saw that offensive line really start to take control after the first drive. Vanilla Vic, the quarterback, he was out there making plays. You saw Jeremiah Hall have some big runs. Cito defense doing their thing. yeah, James Keenan's gonna be solid. So you James Keenan fans, yeah, y'all definitely got some good team out there. Looking forward to seeing what you guys do this year. But those were my observations from Thursday and Friday night. So now I'll go ahead and get to these comments. If you want to comment, if you got any rebuttals to what I said, what was I too harsh? Let me know in the comments. Was I too harsh on Clinton? Let me know in the comment section. But and any observations you guys had. But real quick, I'm gonna get to the ones that we already got up here. Ryan Sutherland, East Duplin. Appreciate you listening, man. Heard some good things about East Duplin in their scrimmage the other night, Thursday night against Kinston, Princeton, and who's the other team you guys had? And Martin County. But I heard some good things about y'all. Saw some clips. So East Duplin, yeah, they're gonna be solid this year. Coach Brandon Maynard's in the comments. Shout out to him. Union had a great showing yesterday. Coach Travis Elliott from Lakewood's head coach said Wallace will be just fine. And he said he said he think he was out as starting quarterback this week. So yeah, that could definitely be why one of the reasons why they had some issues. Coach Brandon Simmons, Vance County, definitely I got to check them out. I haven't checked. I didn't get a chance to check out you guys' preseason stuff. But Coach, I'm definitely gonna be looking at y'all this season. So appreciate the support there. See Austin Brinkley got the shades on, man. He's a big time James Keenan fan. Yeah, y'all put it on us last night, man. Definitely put it on us. LJ Highsmith in the comments. Dominic Baggett said blocking is what's gonna hurt Clinton. Blocking it hurt last year. They didn't start scoring until said the son got on playing O line. So that's DJ Baggett. You talk about DJ Baggett. Ryan Sutherland said got a lot of Panthers watching. Hey, shout out to East Dublin, man. Appreciate all the support coming out of Beulahville. You guys got a great team, man. Y'all if y'all remember my conference predictions, yeah, they might change a little bit now. And I already had East Duplin winning the ECC, pretty easily. But I was hoping we could give y'all a little bit of resistance, but I don't know now, Ryan. That might be an early night for y'all. Let's see. Austin. It's when you're in spread and you're in the shotgun and you have you're not really a threat to pass and the defense knows it. After let's say we lost another quarterback last night, so not sure what his stats will be, but yeah, when you're down your quarterbacks and you're not really able to execute the passing game that good, the defense is able to pin their ears back, and a defense like James Keenan pinning their ears back, and you don't really have the blocking up front. That's it was a long night for the running backs, man. LJ Hospital said, now hopefully some of the players see this so they can step it up and buy in. And it's not just the players that need to make some changes, man. A lot of this, and I know I'm breaking my rules as far as, like I said, don't get too high, too low on scrimmages, and coaches aren't really game planning. But just from a preparation standpoint, we didn't look prepared. We didn't look prepared. I mean, I understand. You offensively, you lost your quarterback 2 days ago, so I don't know how many first team reps the backups were getting but I mean it just seemed we looked really unprepared, and that doesn't fall on the kids, man. That falls on the coaches. Thoughts on the Bash at the Beach, John? If you go back and I spoke on it a little bit earlier, but I was talking about East Blaze performance, Wallace performance, Whiteville's performance. As far as the event, I love the Bash at the Beach, man. I love what those guys do out there. Focus Broadband if you haven't checked it out, and you just want to watch the replays, you can watch the replays on YouTube. Just type in Focus Broadband Bash at the Beach 2025, and you can check out all the games for the last 2 days. But entertaining event. I liked it. I didn't get a chance to watch day 2. I'm gonna have to watch that probably sometime this weekend, because I did want to kind of check out South Columbus, and I wanted to check out Hoggard a little bit as well. And they played last night, but I was watching the Sampson County Jamboree last night. But yeah, great event. Like I said, I felt East Bladen had a really good, solid performance. Wallace struggled a little bit, but of course, like I said, they were down some guys, and they were playing a tough New Hanover team. And of course, same thing with Whiteville. Whiteville, they struggled a little bit, but they were taking on a really good, but surprising. Like I said, it's surprise, man. Ashley has really turned it around down there. I mean, Ashley used to be one of those teams that, football wise, that was a gimme, but now they got a really solid program, and I think that's Coach Lombardi down there at Ashley. He's done a good job. Devon Vance said JK all day. Yeah. Hey, look, y'all got every right to, y'all got every right to beat y'all chest, because y'all definitely beat up on us last night. It wasn't fun. Wasn't fun to watch. He said somewhere on Clean recap spot on. We told Jay Bear after the game, position leaders need to, definitely lock in. Yeah. Like I said, I'm pretty sure the kids watch film without the coaches. The position leaders, man, when y'all watch the film and y'all see, and you'll see what I'm talking about when I talk about that lack of effort. When you gotta point it out, man. You gotta hold each other accountable. Bizman said you can't judge Clinton until Miles is back. The scrimmage versus Grays Creek and the game last night were two totally different teams, execution wise and confidence wise. I agree. But like I said, Miles is definitely gonna make a difference. That first pass play that we ran last night, if that's Miles throwing the ball, that's probably a touchdown or a big play. But at the same time, Miles is not on that offensive line blocking. Miles is not on that, that defense. It if we're going to judge it like that, I mean, Clint's going to have to score 40 points a game, and honestly, if that offensive line doesn't get better and teams see these these weaknesses, they're going to put pressure on them, and a quarterback with pressure in his face, that's tough to deal with. I mean, ask guys like that Super Bowl Patrick Mahomes lost to Tampa Bay when he had those issues blocking. Or hell, even the Super Bowl last year, a quarterback with all that pressure in his face, that's tough to deal with. So up front, we got to fix up front. If we can't execute on the offensive line, and I talk about it all the time, in this area, the games are won and lost up front. If you can't protect your quarterback or give your running backs, room to go, the offense is not going to go. What I say, it don't matter how nice that sports car is or how fast that sports car is. If you can't get it out the garage, let me see. And I'm trying to go back and forth between Twitter. I mean, not Twitter, but Instagram and Facebook. So Kevin Williams said James Keenan is going to be hard to handle. Yes, you're not telling me nothing. I ain't look, bro. They're definitely going to be one of the top 3A teams, and then definitely could represent the 3A East this season in the state championship. Anthony Goodman, I agree. One player shouldn't shift your team that much. Like I said, Clinton has a lot of returning players. We should be further along than what I saw last night. Like I said, I understand James King's good, but we should be a lot further along than that. Like I said, last season, I get it. Last season, I get it. We had one starter returning. We got a lot of guys that played a lot of football last year that are back this year. We should be further along than what I saw. If I put the tape up from last night and the tape up from a game early last season, and somebody that's never watched us play before and said, hey, which year is 2024 and which year is 2025, I'm pretty sure they would be like, that look like I can't tell. It looks like the same thing exactly, and it shouldn't. It shouldn't look the same. Going back to Instagram, Hillary W123 said block without blocking. Miles is gonna be running for his life all night. Yeah, yeah. We'll see. One thing about the O line, you practice all summer a certain type of QB versus what we saw last night with 3 days prep. Well, look, you're going to see the same type of quarterback last. You're going to see the same type of quarterback next week. You're dealing with you're going to be dealing with a dual threat quarterback. You're going to be dealing with a pretty solid front seven on defense. I mean, if you had trouble with Cal Avent last night, what you gonna do with Devin Jones next week? I mean, and like I said, it's not so much X's and O's that I'm worried about. The mental aspect, the lack of effort. That's what was really like I didn't like to see. Like I didn't like seeing that. Like you get punched in the mouth one time and you fold. That's not a sign of a mentally tough football team. And you're not gonna be playing with a lead all season. Lakewood jumps out on the lead next week. What are you gonna do? So I mean, it's not just X's and it's not just the X's and O's, man. You got to get more mentally tough. That lack of effort that stood out to me last night. Any more comments as far as not just the Clint James Keenan, but the other Sampson County teams, the Duplin County teams that we talked about. They say Lakewood folks been waiting 40 years to put it on Clint. Well, we're gonna talk about it Wednesday, man. We gonna talk about it Wednesday. I'm not gonna give any predictions today, but we'll talk about we're gonna go through all the games on Wednesday night show. So y'all definitely tune into that. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be a good one, man. I'll tell you this right now. I got some Lakewood friends that are chomping at the bits right now. But once again, man, I appreciate everyone tuning in to our Friday night recap, the morning after show. This is something we'll be doing every week every Saturday after our games on Friday nights. So next week when we do it, we'll be naming our Bucksport Sports Player of the Week for those games of the week that we have, and also our Trench Warrior of the Week, the outstanding offensive lineman performance for those games. And just a reminder, our games of the week next week are Clinton versus Lakewood, and East Duplin taking on Wallace Rose Hill. Those are our games of the week. We'll Wednesday night we'll give our predictions. We'll have a I'm not sure on the quite the number. We'll probably have 10 games that we'll choose to really kind of go in depth as far as talking about and giving our predictions. And then we'll probably have like another 10 to 15 that we'll just do like little quick picks, and we'll keep track throughout the season and see between me, Anthony, the other Anthony, and see who can get the most of those right. And we tried it last year and we kind of lost track, but we're gonna do a better job this year keeping up with that thing. So be sure to definitely tune into that. But before I close out, man, any other comments? Anybody else want to get up here and give their 2 cents as far as last night's jamboree or Thursday night's bash at the beach? Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right. Well, with that being said, man, I'm gonna go ahead and close things out. I appreciate everyone tuning in and checking us out this morning. Tune in Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. I'll be here. Hopefully, my other guys can join us, and we'll be ready to break down these week 1 matchups. All the dress rehearsals is out the way. Everything's for real now, so definitely looking forward to it. But once again, appreciate y'all listening in. Be sure, if you haven't done so already, to like the page, like this video, share this video. give us a follow. Check us out. You can check us out on YouTube, Instagram, and on Facebook. So once again, man, appreciate all that support. Help us hit our goal of we want to hit the 4K mark on Facebook this week. So definitely, if anybody know any high school football fans in Eastern North Carolina that don't already know about the page, man, share the page with them. Give them check out all the videos, all the content, and definitely lock in with us on Wednesday night at 7:00. But if no one has nothing else to say, man, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Appreciate everyone listening in. This is Chris Harris, Buck Sweet Sports Podcast.